Welcome back to a timey-wimey pod where we watch every episode of Doctor Who from 2005 onwards. I'm Rebecca,
I'm Haley.
and today we have made it to the end of time part 2, David Tennant's final episode as the 10th Doctor. Not really, but whatever. We're here. How are you doing? How are you feeling, Haley?
You know, like I texted you earlier, I am both excited to talk about this episode and very sad to talk about this episode because it really is the end of an era. And while we will see David Tennant's face again more than once in the future of this show, this is the end of like the 10th Doctor's full era.
And a lot of like aspects of the 10th Doctor's era. Like there are things and characters that we don't see again. So it is a goodbye to a lot of things. And there's so many things that I'm so excited to talk about. So many things we've been waiting to talk about. So I think we should just get into it. Are you ready for some fantastic facts?
Yes, I am.
So this episode aired January 1st, 2010. It was written by Russell T Davies. We're not going to be talking about any Russell for like a long time.
No, we're not. It's going to be a good minute.
A good minute. And he didn't even write any of The Land Between, did he?
What are you talking about? The War Between the Land and the Sea?
Yeah, I don't think did he write those episodes?
I think he did.
I think someone else. I think the guy
might have been Pete.
Yeah, I think it's Pete McTighe. So it's going to be a long time, if ever, we talk about another Russell episode.
That was actually really funny.
Okay, so this episode aired January 1st, 2010. It was written by Russell T Davies and directed by Euros Lyn. Speaking of Euros Lyn, there was a certain scene he wanted to remove. And Russell said, nah, we gotta keep it. This scene, so important, so crucial. It must be in this episode. And that was the scene where the 10th Doctor goes to visit Verity Newman, who is, now I'm blanking on her name. Oh, Nurse Redfern's like great granddaughter, who wrote a book about her life and her, meeting the Doctor. And yeah, that was so important. It had to be here. But Euros Lyn, he was voting to get rid of it.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll have more to say about that scene later. But originally they didn't know if they were going to be able to get that actress back, so the backup plan was to have Elton and Ursula show up, which honestly I think would have made more sense.
Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense, honestly. And even though Love of Monsters is not a top episode for many people, including us, I still feel like that would make a little more sense.
And I'm more interested to see what like they're up to. Like I need some closure with them. Like what do you guys got going on? So instead of Rassilon showing up, Russell was originally going to have Omega appear.
Honestly, Omega doesn't belong here and didn't belong in the reality war.
It just wouldn't have made sense. Like, because I've seen the classic episodes with Omega, so it just wouldn't have made sense for him to be here. So I'm glad they went with Rassilon instead. Another idea Russell originally had was for the 10th Doctor's ending to basically be that he would like save an alien family aboard a spaceship, like sacrificing his own life to save this family. And he really likes the idea of the Doctor's regeneration happening to like save just like random, unremarkable people. But he scratched that because he wanted to give the audience more like closure and a more like grand finale, which I do like. I do feel like that idea basically is what ended up happening with the 15th Doctor.
Yeah.
But somehow worse.
Yeah.
Anyways, are we ready to jump into the episode?
Well, do you want to hear my fun facts?
Oh, yes, do share.
Okay, so my fantastic fact comes from the book The Writer's Tale, and Russell was talking in correspondence with Benjamin Cook, I believe is his name, and he was discussing how he was having a difficult time initially figuring out how to bring in Rose, and he said, quote, "I thought of cutting to her and Doctor Number 2, the blue suit doctor in their parallel world, sort of realizing that their original doctor is dying, feeling it somehow. But what are they doing? Building another TARDIS, living with Jackie and Pete, traveling the wilds. Should Rose have a baby? Whichever way you
Oh,
look at it, that's an odd scene and distracting.
I'm glad we got what we got. I really like that scene with Rose, but we'll talk more about it later. But
Mm-hmm.
I I would have liked a little peek into parallel Pete's world. And I do
Not
always
that
kind of have,
janky world. I don't need any more clips from that.
I wouldn't mind. I like seeing Rose and the Doctor together. I don't know, it'd be kind of nice.
Mm.
And I do always imagine that like the Meta Crisis Doctor, he always feels something, especially when the 10th Doctor regenerated, and maybe during like all the regenerations, he just gets a little feeling. That's my own headcanon personally. But like
No,
even the
but I
14th Doctor, like maybe he like woke up in the dead of night and
no, I
was
do
like,
agree with that part of it of like yeah, like I feel like it would make sense that the meta crisis doctor would feel something.
yeah, I don't know. That's just my own headcanon. But we see a war torn Gallifrey.
We do. And here's the thing. I love any peek we get at Gallifrey.
Yeah.
I think that's so fascinating, especially as someone who hasn't watched Classic Who. But it's always fascinating to me and I love it. And I love like the push and pull of the doctor and how like everyone on Gallifrey hates the doctor, but the doctor Loki hates everyone on Gallifrey. Like that dynamic is so interesting. But the way Gallifrey is utilized in this episode is just so disappointing.
Oh, okay. Say more about that.
I don't know. I feel like with something as big as bringing Gallifrey back, I wish there was more hints it was returning. I wish
Mm,
there was a little bit more foreshadowing. I wish it was something, I don't know, something more besides what we get in the conclusion about how they go away. And I think too, what I'm disappointed with is just like Brazilian and the Iron Gauntlet glove. Like that
Rassilon.
man, Rassilon.
Resilient.
It's not Brazilian? Why did I
No,
think it
it's
was pronounced like that?
Rassilon. I don't know where you got that. That is all you, babes.
Well, I do mispronounce things on this podcast, as
Fair
comments
enough.
have pointed out. Okay, let me live. Let me live.
So valid.
I'm trying to like form all of my thoughts. Like I just feel like I wish it was a bit more substantial and I think it just kind of felt like there was some parts that dragged on a little bit. Like we
Hmm.
were looking at Gallifrey and then the doctor is just like killing time on the spaceship. And then before we know it, he's yeeting himself off the spaceship into this mansion. Like I think if it was part 1 tied better with part 2 and Gallifrey, I would have liked it more.
Yeah, I realized watching this that there was a lot of things in part two that I completely forgot about. And I definitely remember part one way more than I remember part two. Like, I think the last 30 minutes of part two I remember really well. But besides that, there's a lot I was like, oh, I don't remember this at all. So that was interesting for me. The way Gallifrey is used, I really like the opening and like the
Mhm.
Council of Time Lords, trying to figure out, what's going on, how to save themselves. And you see them like basically put the drumming in the master's head as a child, something that we saw way back in series 3. We kind of get a answer for that, which really breaks my heart for the master.
Yeah.
Really sad. And I do agree. I think the like I don't know. I really like the confrontation between the Doctor, the Master, and Rassilon. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I do agree. Like the way they disappear, a little anticlimactic, and the way that like Gallifrey appears in the sky. I don't. That's too much for me. That's a little cheesy.
Yeah, it was giving Stolen Earth flashbacks with Gallifrey
Totally.
in the sky.
Totally.
Something that is a highlight for me in terms of Gallifrey in this episode is like that confrontation between Rassilon, the Master, and the Doctor. Like that is what I really enjoy. It's just kind
Hmm.
of everything else that I felt was a little, I don't know, a little weak, but I'm a little nitpicky about it.
That's valid. There is one thing I I'm really excited to talk about that shows up very early on. And even though this is RTD's final episode in RTD1, I have to talk about Moffat for a second because in the Time Lord Council scene, there's a line just like a female Time Lord says about the Doctor, he still has the moment that can be used to destroy Daleks and Time Lords alike, something along those lines. And I noticed that before, but it really stuck out to me this rewatch. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's just a random name drop of something called The Moment. And then Moffat took that random name drop and based the entire 50th special around that and created this entire concept. That's insane. That's literally so insane and such a genius idea. And the continuity, the continuity is beautiful.
Oh, that is such a good thing to point out. Moffat was like such a genius with this. And I forget, it might have even been Russell on who says it, but no more. And that's something we hear
Hmm.
a lot in Day of the Doctor.
Yeah. Hmm.
I will say the visuals of Gallifrey, beautiful, gorgeous, love them so much. And I do love the mysterious time lady that keeps stalking Wilf. I love her.
Okay, should we get into it?
Let's get into it. We're going to be all over the place, by the way, guys.
Yeah. Classic. Okay, I want to hear your thoughts first because my thoughts have definitely changed over the years.
Okay. So, the reason I like her has more to do with the theory surrounding her. So, it's a very open ended rule. She technically doesn't have a name. We technically don't know who she truly is. I have always thought, though, that she is the doctor's mother or some like relative of his.
Hmm.
And I like the impact her role has on the doctor at the end, where she brings down her hands, shows her face to the doctor, and it's almost like that's what brings him the clarity to resolve all of this.
Yeah, I agree. I really do like that moment when he sees her. Very powerful. And I like the interactions with Wilf. I don't know. Like, I want to like that we don't know. I want to like be okay with it, but I'm not. And I want to know. Like, I don't know. Or just like, I don't need all the answers, you know? I don't need everything spoon fed to me, but I just wish maybe a little bit more hints or maybe like just something. Like she says to Wilf, like, I was lost so very long ago. And then later he asks the doctor who she is, and he literally says nothing. I don't know. I it's just it's hard for me, and also I feel like I did have the theory for a long time that she is the doctor's mother, which I really liked, but also knowing what we know now and Timeless Child, doesn't that kind of retcon the idea that she could be his mother?
Yeah, it could retcon that for sure. To be completely honest, I'm a little rusty on the specifics of the Timeless Child and that
Same.
era in Jodie's run, so I don't want to say anything I'll regret because I really don't remember some of the plot points.
Mhm.
But I do agree with you. I think it kind of retcons it a little bit. However, in the writer's tale, Russell did say that even though he wrote this role like open ended, he personally believes, and he told the actress playing this role, that she is the doctor's mother.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll go with that. I
Yeah.
think I heard David say that like maybe she could be his wife. So I also kind of like to think about that like
Oh,
possibility. That's fun. Like Susan's mother,
wait,
who's not
gag.
Bob. Oh gosh. Maybe
Oh,
it's good we don't know who she is since everything's just getting retconned. Um
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe it's just the journalist in me. I hate not knowing things, having unanswered questions. Like I like it and I don't like it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I do wish there was maybe a little bit more to her role.
Mhm.
I don't know what that more would entail, but
Russell loves a mysterious woman just appearing, saying something ominous, and then
oh gosh, yeah.
disappearing. Okay, so back on Earth, we have Wilf, the doctor, and the master. The doctor's all tied up, gagged,
Literally.
and literally gagged. I love when Donna's calling Wilf, and Wilf is like, "Oh, sorry, I'll turn it off." And the master's like, I'm everyone on Earth, and I'm not phoning you. So what the hell?" And then he picks up the phone and he says, "Oh, he loves playing with Earth girls." Really funny.
Yeah.
How do we feel about this Donna scene?
Okay. I love that we get Donna in this episode. I
It feels
feel,
like a tease.
yeah, it's just like a tease. It doesn't really add much.
Because they kind of hype it up a little bit at the end of the last episode, like, she's remembering. And then it's like she ends up just taking a nap the whole episode. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like I need her to necessarily be here. I mean, of course, I'm always going to appreciate more Donna, more Catherine Tate, but I don't know. It just, I don't know. It's interesting because it
I
was so
agree.
hyped up. Like, I think if you were watching this for the first time, you might have expected like her to maybe even just like temporarily get her memories back and have a bigger role in like solving all everything that's happening. Like, this does seem like a Dr. Donna problem, and then Donna just is like napping on the street the whole episode.
Yeah, and there's like multiple versions of the master coming after her. And
Hmm.
then the doctor's like, "Oh, don't worry. I installed like a security thing basically." And the security thing is literally just some like meta crisis energy zapping them all and she's like falls asleep.
I do love the line, "You think I'd leave my best friend without a defense mechanism?"
Yeah,
Anytime he
that's a
calls
cute line.
Donna his best friend makes me very emotional, and I love it so much. And I'm like, yes, she is his best friend. I love the confrontation scene between the doctor and the master, where he's like, "You're so smart. You're such a genius. You're stone cold brilliant. You are. You really are." And he's just like saying all this to the master, trying to get him to just stop and to just, stop everything, give it all up, just travel with him. I love this conversation that they have.
Yeah, that moment really I feel like is a mini callback to Lost of the Time Lords where the
Mm.
doctor, what was that tweet you sent me this morning, Rebecca? It's like, I'm fed up with you, but I'm still giving you 88 more
Yeah,
chances.
you're on thin ice, but you have 88 chances with me. That's the
Literally,
doctor and the master.
yeah, 100%. And I love that about their relationship. It's so messy, it's so chaotic, it's so unhinged. And like you said, like the lines between them in this moment are just so good. And the doctor's like, "Come on, we can travel the stars. You want to travel the stars with me." And it's just like that age old back and forth where the doctor wants to
Mhm.
save the master, but the master doesn't want any part
Yeah.
of it. And yeah,
And I think that this dynamic between the two of them is so interesting because at this point in the doctor's life, he's been the last of the Time Lords for so long
yeah,
and has been so desperate to have someone. And then it's the master, like his age old enemy, his best friend, his best enemy. And this version of the master really wants nothing to do with him.
yeah.
One of my favorite lines ever between the doctor and the master is when, they're talking about the drumming, and the master's like, "I don't know what I'd be without that drumming." And then the doctor says, "I wonder what I'd be without you." Oh, and it's so true. It's such a good line.
Because who would the doctor be without the master?
Yeah. I mean, I think he'd be, in a way, completely different. Like, I think they've
Yeah.
both shaped each other's lives in such interesting ways. Oh, and John Sims' performance is so good in this episode. Like, we think about John Sim in this episode, and we think about him just like becoming every single person on earth, like being Barack Obama, all this.
Yeah.
But when he's just the master and just like the scenes with David Tennant, he's so incredibly good. Like, after the doctor says that, he just has this like vulnerable look on his face, and he's just like, yeah, like, I wonder what I'd be without you. Like, Oh man, it's so good, so good.
But amidst it all, amidst, the confessions of how the doctor truly feels and how the master is feeling emotional, they still go back and forth because the doctor basically calls the master stupid because he doesn't notice the cactus about to knock him out.
Yeah. I love that, like, not noticing that
Mm-hmm.
you're taller than you are, because I feel like I have height dysmorphia. Like, in my head, I'm taller than I actually am. And then people are like, "You're short." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I am short."
It doesn't help that you're like friends with me and I'm short.
Yeah. So
So
true.
of course you feel tall.
Yeah. Also, like, being the oldest, like, half of my siblings are like 3 feet tall. So,
No, that's so true. But yeah, the doctor being like 6 billion pairs of eyes, but you still can't see the obvious. That is so good. It's so funny.
yeah, so great. Love the rescue scene. Worst
Hmm.
rescue ever. Very fun. And then Wilf gets to go to space.
He does get to go to space. And honestly, like, it's been so long since I've watched this that I don't remember how I felt like in the past. But I really appreciated this moment of Wilf and him
Mm.
just taking in the fact that he's in space. And I don't know, there's just something really lovely about that, that he gets to experience just like the tiniest bit of being out in the stars.
I know, it's so nice. I love, like, when the show takes, and obviously, like, that's the whole show, like, hello, like, every companion ever, but, like, I love just seeing, like, regular everyday people, like, just getting a little taste of the magic that this universe has to offer, and, like, seeing someone like Wilf get to go to space, like, something that would never happen to him normally. It's just, it's so nice, and it's such a great moment, and I love the conversation. Oh, the conversation that they have on the spaceship.
Yeah.
And a really dark aspect is that we find out basically all the, like, dead people in their graves, they are also John Sim, which doesn't really make sense to me.
That doesn't make sense to me either. And I have a question, and I hope that this makes sense. But logistically, how does all of this work? Because is it that everyone on Earth is literally physically and mentally possessed by the Master? Or is everyone just a duplicate of the Master, like they've been completely replaced? Or is it like
Yeah, I was
logistics?
kind of wondering that too, because I was like, okay, how much of, like, these people's memories does this master
Yeah,
have? It's very confusing. I
it's
don't
it's
have an
very
answer.
confusing. And like the grave, oh, horrifying.
But, like, for most people right now in graves are, like, just bones right now. So, like, are the bones John Sim?
That's actually such a great point. I feel like it would just be his skull.
Right? Like, what's, I don't know. That very, like, creepy, very dark, but I don't know if it
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, I agree with you, but going back to Wilf and Tin just having the conversation and Wilf just trying to encourage the doctor and be like, "Come on, doc. I know you." No, me sounding like Graham. Sorry.
I'm like, that's Graham. Excuse you.
But he's like, "Come on, doctor. I know you got a plan. You can do this." And just the silence that Tin
Yeah.
has with Wilf, just having like this saddest, most stony expression, heartbreaking.
Yeah. The doctor says his age, for the first time in a while. He is
Oh yeah.
906.
Okay, so we're clocking that 906.
Mhm.
Didn't we make like a promise a while back to keep track of his age whenever he mentioned it?
Yeah, but I don't think it's been said since Voyage of the Damned. So,
I think you're actually correct.
yeah,
So,
which I believe he says that he's 903.
yeah.
So, that's interesting. Canonically, this doctor has had, like, a very short lifespan compared to other regenerations, which
Yeah.
always to me kind of adds to how sad this episode is. Like, he hasn't lived very long, but yet he's lived too long. Ugh. And he's gone through so much. Like, I think he's only been alive for like 5 or 6 years canonically.
Yeah, which is insane. Because you
Mhm.
have the 12th Doctor over here being like a billion years old, literally.
He's still out there punching that wall.
Yeah. But when Tin told Wilf, I'd be proud if you were my dad.
I know. Oh, yeah, and we didn't talk about it before, but like when he says to the master earlier, like I'd be proud if I was like, oh, so good. I So good. The acting between David Tennant and Bernard Cribbins during the scene on the spaceship is so good. Both of them really just like incredible performances. I love how the doctor, the line, "I think you look like giants." Such a good line. And then he
Yeah.
talks about like everything that he's done, and he brings up like the waters of Mars, and I love how he says worse, like I got clever, like so good. And
Yeah.
oh, you really see just how much this doctor has been through.
Yeah, he's been through a lot. He has lost a lot and he's seen and witnessed a lot. And this is like a very obviously traumatized doctor, but also he's a very vain version of himself, more
Yeah.
so than other versions of himself. And so for him to, in this state, be like, sometimes I think a Time Lord lives too long, that line said by him always gets to me because you just see like how raw that statement is for him to say
Mhm.
because he just has so much regret.
Yeah, and it really ties into later in the episode, like during the confrontation with Rastalon, and he's explaining like this is why I had to do what I did, because this is who the Time Lords became when they were trying so hard to stay alive. And it is just really interesting.
Yeah, and I do like that dynamic and how it's introduced and how the doctor says like, I do choose to remember them well. I choose to remember the best of them. But he has this breaking point where he admits to the master and everyone else like the Time Lord changed Time Lords to the very core of themselves. They are more dangerous than any of my enemies, which is like absolutely insane.
Yeah, no, it really is. So we have the whole moment where the doctor is refusing to take the gun. And then it's always kind of funny to me that like he's like never. And then like the next second he finds out Gallifrey's coming back, he takes the gun. Like the very next second. Kind of funny, but I do
Yeah.
like it because it shows how serious the situation is. Like how high the stakes are.
Mhm.
Like this is not a good thing. I love Wilf being like, it's a party, like family reunion. And he's like, the doctor admits, like, he kind of like tells this idyllic version of the Time Lords, and that's how he likes to remember them by. But this version of them that are time locked in the Time War, like, this is the worst of the worst. Like you said, like, worse than any of my enemies.
Yeah. I remember watching this for the first time and being absolutely shocked the doctor himself would ever hold a gun, much less point it at anyone in this episode. Do you
Mm-hmm.
remember your first time watching this and how you felt?
No.
Valid.
I do not. I remember like one of the later scenes watching that, but that's it.
That's really funny.
I think I was just
So,
honestly so confused
oh,
watching this for the first time. I don't think I had
no,
any idea what was going on.
me too. I remember watching the beginning, especially, and being so lost with Gallifrey and being like, what the heck is this? Who are these
Yeah.
people? Do we like these people? Do we hate these people? It was very confusing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, something that I still cannot get past all these years later is the fall in the sky from the spaceship.
No, because
How,
that should have killed him right there.
like, considering the fourth Doctor
Yes.
regenerated after falling, how did Tin survive that fall? It wasn't just like, oh, let me hop like 2 stories. It was like, let me hop from the sky into the building through glass. Like, what?
Yeah, that should have done him in there right then.
Yeah.
Real quick, I do want to mention I love the final Alonzi. So good.
Yes, I'm so glad we got that one last time.
I love how he builds it up to like there's an old Earth saying like That's not an older saying whatsoever, but you know what? Now it is.
And I respect it.
Mhm.
Oh, at the same time, like as soon as he falls, at that same time, Timothy Dalton, aka Rassilon, comes to the rescue and he returns everyone's faces to themselves, including Barack Obama. So thank you, Timothy Dalton.
Thank you. I love we get, a little scene with Donna's family. I love that Sean like
Yeah.
comes back and immediately he goes to look for Donna, points to Sean. We appreciate that. What's his face? Lance could never.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I really like the moment where Sylvia looks up and she's like, "Ugh." I forget exactly what she says, but she asks the doctor for help, when she just looks up in the sky and sees what's happening.
Yeah. That moment
It
is really sweet, actually.
it really shows like how far she's come.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Sylvia.
Ah, Sylvia, you are iconic queen.
You really are. Oh, and then we also find out like before Rassilon turns everyone back to who they are, the master wanted to turn all the Time Lords into himself.
Yeah, no, that is legitimately insane, but it makes sense that the master would want that.
Mm-hmm. And then the doctor is like telling the master, like, see, this is who they became in the final days of the Time Lord. And he starts naming all these things. And something that I think about probably on a weekly basis is the concept of the nightmare child. We never learn
Thank
what
you.
that is. I don't know if like Big Finish did something, but I am fascinated by that concept.
Okay, I searched this up last night and I completely forgot about it and forgot to bring it up till you just mentioned this. But according to the TARDIS wiki, the Nightmare Child was responsible for destroying Davros's command ship during the very first year of the Time War and seemingly killed Davros himself, although Dalek Khan in reality saved him.
Ooh, that's interesting. But like, do we know what it is?
Considered an abomination by those who saw it, the Nightmare Child was the first and only specimen of a new type of Dalek created by Davros during the first year of the last Great Time War, inspired by how the Doctor disliked the Time Lords, but nevertheless helped them. Davros saw it as the perfect Dalek, rising above the flaws of every other Dalek, as it was programmed to not revere the Dalek species as perfect so it could evolve and improve. Thus, upon being created, it rejected its body out of the scorn and horror it held towards it.
Huh. Well, now we know. Yeah, look up the photo on TARDIS Wiki so you can see what we were reacting to because very very interesting. Kind of just looks like a Dalek, but that's I don't know, kind of exploding.
Yeah, yeah. Like it
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It seems like that was potentially in a comic or in one of the Doctor Who books. So glad they expanded upon it, but honestly, the Nightmare Child just as like that phrase, the Nightmare Child
Yeah.
is has a grip on me.
He also I didn't write it down so I don't have it, but like the almost king or the something about a king and his like
Oh,
almost people. I don't know. Very fascinating.
interesting.
Yeah. So Rassilon he wants to take the master out.
Yeah, and he also wants I wrote this down because I was confused watching this. But he and the Time Lords want to be free of time and cause and effect while creation ceases to be.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that either. I kind of just got it like they want to be just like floating consciousness without their bodies.
Yeah,
Like, do
I
they want to be like
guess.
Astrid in the end of Voyage of the Damned? Like,
Do they want to be literal angels? Like, what are we talking here? It was
yeah,
confusing.
I don't know.
But I will say, like, that scene where the master is just having this crushing realization about how like wicked the Time Lords are, how like they put the drumbeat inside of his head and how they want to take him out. Like it just makes me feel so sympathetic for him and
I
so bad for the
know.
master. And this is really just like a testament to like the master as a whole, because I feel even if there are highlights and there's downsides throughout different showrunners and their approach to the master, overall, throughout the show, the master has been carried perfectly to where you can never hate them ever.
No. Yeah, and it really showed, like, seeing what the Time Lords did to him. It really shows you like how terrible the Time Lords are. Like they suck,
Yeah.
and like how they treat the Doctor throughout the entire 60 plus years of the show. Like, never forget they forced the second Doctor to regenerate as
Mhm.
punishment. It's really fascinating to watch, and I am obsessed with this standoff, and I love how the Doctor, has the gun and he switches, going back and forth. And when he points it at the master, this is such a fascinating scene. And he points it at the master because the link is in his head. Kill the master and he'll be gone. And John Sim performs it so well. The master is like taunting him, like, go ahead, you are a coward, like, do it then. And then he has this look where he looks genuinely afraid and like genuinely sad, and it's such a like real vulnerable look, and like the crazy facade that we know the Johnson master to be drops, and he just looks purely like so scared in this moment that the Doctor
Yeah.
is actually going to do it. And it's such a great but subtle performance from John Sim.
Absolutely.
And then the Doctor turns back around to Rassilon. He sees the woman's face, whoever she may be, who knows. And then he turns back around to the master, and this is so good. He says, "Get out of the way." And I love the smile on the
Mhm.
master's face when he realizes what's happening.
It's so good because at the end of the day, even though they're always like going against each other, when the Doctor and the Master are on the same wavelength, they literally read each other's minds.
Yeah.
And getting that smile, that confirmation that the Master knows he's good, it's so good. It's so good.
Mhm. And then we get like probably the closest moment ever to this version of the master, the John Sim version of the master, standing with the Doctor when Rassilon's,
Mhm.
about to take the Doctor down with him. If I'm going down, you're going down with me. And the Doctor's like, I know. And then it's so good. Then John, he says, "Get out of the way." And he, I think his main goal in that moment is to take down the Time Lords for everything they've done to him. But doing
Mhm.
so, he does save the Doctor. And I love that, now it's his turn to say, "Get out of the way," and he gets to save him. Such a good moment. And it's really the closest that we see this version of the master standing with the Doctor. And I just love when we get those moments, and it's so
Mhm.
rare, and we get it more with Missy, but just when it seems like they're gonna stand together, so good.
So good. And then the Master has his cathartic moment of attacking Rassilon, that dang iron gauntlet, and takes him down, which in turn, I guess, like puts Gallifrey back in the time lock along with everyone else? Question mark. And then the Master goes somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, how, like, because we do spoiler, like, see Johnson again. I do kind of wonder, like, maybe they
Yeah.
explained it and I'm forgetting, so you know
No,
what,
it
we'll
might be.
save it. Yeah, back into hell, Rassilon. That lives in my head rent free.
Something I do need to say really quick. I don't know if it was me, but the Master laughed a lot in End of Time Part 1 and End of Time Part 2. And personally, every time the Master laughed, I was half expecting the giggle.
That's so funny.
Like the past two seasons, the past two newer seasons of Doctor Who has ruined me whenever anyone laughs in the show.
That's so real, so valid. But yeah, this is the last we'll see of the master for a good long while.
Yeah, for oh my gosh, 3 seasons.
Yeah, an entire regeneration, an entire era.
That is so crazy. I do wish the Master interacted with the 11th Doctor. Like,
I
I've always wanted that.
Me too. I feel complicated about it because I do think like the long gap forces them
Yeah.
to do like some more interesting stuff and makes it like all that more interesting when the master finally does return. But if there's anyone that could have just had such a powerful showdown with the master, it would be Matt Smith. And oh man, I would have loved to see that because Matt Smith he plays that dark version of the Doctor so well. So I would have loved to see what a Matt Smith master would have been like. A master meant to go against Matt Smith is what I mean. But yeah.
Yeah. But shout out to John Sim. Like, he
Hmm.
pulled off all of the silliness and goofiness so well, and also like the more subtle emotional moments. I just love John Sims. I cannot say that enough. He's been incredible in RTD1, and even though it's a little interesting how he went out, still I'm glad that we had him.
Yeah, same. Um, okay. I
Is
need
it
to know
time?
your thought. Is it time? I need to hear your thoughts on this next scene.
Okay, the twist of the four
Uh
knocks being done by Wilf gets me every time because, like, when you watch this for the first time, you're expecting it to be the master. You're not expecting it to be Wilf. To have that be the twist is
mhm.
it's so good.
Yeah, that moment where he's so happy. He's like, "I'm alive." And then the knocking happens. It's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
I do like the twist that it's Wilf, but also it bugs me because I'm like, Wilf, you knew about the knocking. Like, what the heck?
No, I do wonder
and
that
you just
about that as well.
and you just had to go in there. You had to let that random guy go.
And technically, doesn't he knock like 12 times? There's like 3 rounds of 4 knocks.
Okay, I did think about this, but like when you knock, you're not just like knocking like once. You knock like ba ba ba. So it makes sense for it to be four knocks.
No, I know, but I'm saying like he did 1, 2, 3, 4, then another 1, 2, 3, 4 knocks, then
Oh
another one,
yeah,
two, three, four knocks. But I think that was probably just for dramatic effect. Like, it's really not that
yeah.
serious.
It's not serious. Yeah, it works either way.
It works. But yeah, that emotional moment where 10 just like gulps and it's just like, okay, so I am dying today. The
Oh, so
ood, they were
sad.
right. Like, it's so sad. And he has his crash out, which low key, honestly, high key valid. That man has been through a lot. He just sent Gallifrey back to wherever they're going. He dealt with the master. Like, he's dealt with a lot. He's lost all his besties, his loves. But him specifically saying the line that really it had to be an unimportant man after all this time, after everything, I'm like, okay, pack it up.
I hate this scene.
That
Yeah,
doesn't surprise me.
yeah. I've always had a really, really hard time with this scene. I think particularly this watch today, I had like a bit of an easier time with it. Maybe because I was really preparing myself for it and I knew I wanted to talk about it. So I actually got through it easier than I normally do because sometimes I
Mhm.
literally have to fast forward it. I physically
I
cannot
feel
watch it
that.
and I cringe watching it. Okay, I just need to say I love David Tennant. I love David Tennant so much. I think he is such an incredible actor. But sometimes when he has these like tantrum like scenes, I don't know why, it just
It's
doesn't
almost
work for me.
overacting.
Yeah, like this scene, and there's a scene in The Star Beast, like right before Donna gets her memories back, and he's like, "It's not fair," and I'm like, "You're doing too much. It's not working anymore." So I don't know these tantrum scenes. I don't like it, and he's just so mean to Wilf, and he's like, yeah, I will
Yeah.
just leave you, and like, he's not going to, but I don't know. And he's like, the whole, I could do so much more, so much more. Like, I don't know. It's so hard to watch. It's too much. It's too much. It's like, get a grip, my man. You're gonna regenerate and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I have very mixed feelings about this scene. Like I said, like I like the aspect that it's Wolf being the plot twist. On one hand, I get it that Tin is having a crash out, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I do lean more towards you where the scene is just a little much with the crash out. And I think after having the show for so many seasons, and even in future seasons, like having it underscored so many times, like ugh, there's no one ordinary, like everyone's important, and to just have
Yeah,
this moment where Wilf of all people is being told he's unimportant,
I
like that
know.
that just hurts. And the doctor never really has a moment where he's like, I'm sorry, Wilf, like that wasn't okay, my man. And
My
like he's
bad.
lucky that Wilf like is forgiving and like understands, I guess, but
I
like
know. And
it's
Wolf is like,
heartbreaking.
I know, and Wolf is even saying like, "Just leave me. Like, I'm an old man. It's my time. Let me go." Oh, it's so sad,
It's
Wolf.
so sad. And then to wrap it off, he just is like, I've lived too long. Wilfred, it would be my honor.
I do really like that line, just kind of
No, me
admitting
too.
like he has gone too far. Oh, it's like to hear this doctor say that when canonically he has had such a short lifespan, it is so heartbreaking. But also it's like, yeah, like he's lived too long in a way because of how much he's been through, everything he's lost.
Yeah.
Rose, the master, the first time, like Astrid, Martha, Donna, like everything that's happened to this doctor. It's been so much, especially I talked about this last week and I'm going to keep talking about it. When you think of that David Tennant's very first scene, like he's so young and new on the TARDIS,
Yeah.
and he was born out of love, out of like to save someone, and then this is where he's ended up, so broken, so alone, so angry. Oh, it's so heartbreaking.
Yeah. Like you said, he's at the opposite of where he started off as.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really feeling the weight of all of that. And yeah, it's just there's so much emotion packed into this scene and the following scenes that like
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. It's a lot to watch. It's a lot for the doctor to experience, but I do really like how like he drops Wilf off and he says, you know, Wilf, this isn't goodbye yet. Like I'll see you once more. And Wilf is like, what do you mean? And the doctor's like, just wait for me. And Wilf is like, dude, where are you going? And Tin just says, to get my reward. And
Oh.
I love his farewell tour. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I will never complain about it because it gives me some of that closure to see how these different companions have ended up for the most part. And yeah, I love the farewell tour. I do have some opinions, but overall I love that we get it.
No, me too. I absolutely love it. And a fun little tidbit is that in the Sarah Jane Adventures, in an episode with the 11th Doctor, he confirms that he didn't just go to see the 10th Doctor's companions. He went to go see every single one of his
Mhm.
companions, which
Yeah.
first off, like, you really just were out here having all the time in the world with like the last of your life force.
And you mean to tell me you went back and saw Susan? Did you see Susan's mother?
Yeah, I see. I think he saw everyone but see Susan. That's my headcanon, because
That
I
makes
don't think he
sense.
can. I don't think he can face it. The shame,
No,
the guilt,
the shame.
um, the shame. But it is. It is nice to think about him seeing everyone else. Before we really get into it, I do want to mention I really like how Donna wakes up to the sound of the TARDIS.
Yes. Yeah. I love that too.
Yeah. And she says, "Did I miss something again?" Poor Donna.
Just such a good callback to
I know.
Donna.
Oh, poor Dawn. Also, because sometimes I'm like, what did they tell Sean? Like, does Sean know the tea? I have decided that after this episode, like, Sylvia and Wilf sat him down and were like, look, here's the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he had to know, especially like when we see him in the Star Beast, he's not very bothered by what's happening. He's like, yeah, this
Exactly.
tracks.
He's like,
This
"Yeah,
makes
just like
sense.
any other day."
Yeah. What's that line he says? Like, what's for dinner? What's that smell? Well, whatever. We'll get to it, but
Oh, I don't remember.
okay. The farewell tour.
Let's go in order.
Yes. Martha's best look, dare I say?
Yes, thank you for acknowledging what I think. Her best look. She looks so good.
The braids. Oh, so
Mhm.
good. Okay. This is probably our most controversial opinion.
Mhm.
I don't hate Mickey and Martha being together.
Everyone, we are coming clean. We are Mickey and Martha defenders. Look, everyone, I think they're the most polarizing Doctor Who couple to ever exist, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love it. You know why? Because it makes sense. They were both
Mm-hmm.
jaded by the Doctor, jaded by like either the Doctor not being in love with them or the companion not being in love with them. So they get each other. They understand it. They work well together. They know the alien world and they look great together.
They do. And I understand people being like, oh, great. Martha just gets like Rose's ex again. But it's like so much time has passed. Like, Mickey
Yeah.
is such a different character from from where we first met him, from even when he was first, like, he's changed so much, he's evolved so
Yeah.
much, he's grown, and their little like dynamic in this scene is really fun. Like, he's like, this is no
Yeah.
place for a married woman, and she's like, well, then you shouldn't have married me. It's fun. I like it. I like to imagine them off doing adventures together. I will say my only problem with the concept of Martha and Mickey is that now, because Noel Clark is certified terrible human being, it
Yeah.
kind of, for it's like, I feel like that, I don't know if it really has, but it kind of feels like that's gotten in the way of bringing Martha back, or at least put like a little bit of a hurdle in. Here's my solution,
Yeah.
Russell. If you're listening, just say Mickey died. Like, oh, he died.
He
COVID.
died.
I was gonna give other examples of ways he could die, but I COVID. There's a lot of ways Mickey could have died. Pick one.
Yeah. There's a million and one things. Or you know what? You could even have it where he's not mentioned ever again.
Yeah, he's on vacation. Um,
He's being held hostage on the Sycorax ship.
yeah, he's in like Peru. Like, remember in the Sun Turn two-parter when they're like
Yeah.
the Brigadier's in Peru for some reason? Like, we're
Yeah.
just sending this old man to Peru.
Like you don't have to mention him.
No, you don't. Well, I guess you kind of do, but
Yeah.
once again, asking to bring Martha back.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Overdue.
I don't hate this dynamic. Like, it works. It works. And I do their reaction to seeing the Doctor, and then he leaves and they just kind of know. Like, they know somehow. And the way they, like, he hugs her, it's nice. It's nice.
It's really nice. I love it. I do kind of wish there was a little something more for Martha though
I
in terms
wish
of a
Martha
goodbye.
got more. Yes, absolutely. She should have gotten more. They should have had a conversation. Like, once again, or girl Martha is snubbed. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And it is how many years later? 15 years later. And this is the last time we've ever seen Martha. Just bring her back already, please. I'm begging.
It's the way that her sister is going to be in the war between, I mean, not really, but the actress
Yeah.
who played her sister is going to be in the new spinoff. Girl, you could have brought Martha back.
Remember when we all thought it was going to be Martha?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
That
really
was really
fun
nice.
2 days or however long that was. So the Doctor saves Mickey and Martha from getting taken out by the Centaurans. Then he saves Luke from getting hit by a car. Are we supposed to believe that he's like stopping their deaths here, essentially?
Wait. Yeah. Well, Luke for sure. Luke for
Yeah.
sure. He's saving from death. I don't know if it was just a happenstance, coincidence. He stumbled upon Mickey and Martha with the Centaur,
Yeah.
or if he like somehow knew and time
That
traveled.
that's my question. Like,
Mm,
were one of them gonna get taken out? And he said, "Let me change time one last time."
that's actually
Um.
such a great point. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know, but I do like it. I
Yeah.
do.
Oh
I
yeah.
do
I like it.
I like that we see Luke, and uh every time I watch this episode, I get so emotional when I see Sarah Jane, because this
Yeah.
is Elizabeth Sladen's last scene
Mhm.
in Doctor Who, like the main show,
Yeah.
before her just horrible, untimely death. And
Mhm.
it always gets me. Like, this is her last scene, but in a way it's beautiful because it's almost like she's saying goodbye to the audience too. And I'm gonna start tearing up literally right now. Like,
No, it's so good. And oh,
it's
she's
so
such
good.
a good actress, and like you can see on her face like she understands what's going
Hmm.
on, and she's grieving for this version of the Doctor. And again, I'm going to bring
Yeah.
up that Sarah Jane Adventure episode with the 11th Doctor. She asked like, the last version of you, was he okay in the end? Like, it's so sweet. Like,
Yeah.
and she just knows what's happening here, and her face, the face acting, so good.
So good. It's just, it's perfection. And then we see Jack. Tell me
We
all your
sure do.
thoughts on this scene.
I love the scene. Like, of course, Jack would be just sulking in this alien bar. I love that we see like literally everything. Okay, the
Mhm.
adipose to me always takes me out. Like, why is this essentially a baby allowed in this space bar?
Oh my gosh, you're so right. You know what? Maybe the baby was with its mom or with its nanny.
Well, wherever the parents were not supervising their baby very well.
No. And also, that bar should be investigated. They should not let a minor be near all
Yeah.
the alcohol.
What are we doing? But no, it's a great scene. And I love Russell's really obsessed with Russell Tovey. It's kind of crazy. Like Russell Tovey, like, look out. But he brings Alonso back, and yeah, it's fun. It's a fun little moment. Something I thought about on this rewatch is that he doesn't talk to anyone. Like, he talks to Nurse Redfern's great great granddaughter, and he talks to Rose, but he doesn't talk to anyone else. Well, he does talk to
Mm.
Wilf and Sylvia, but he doesn't say anything to Martha. He doesn't say anything to. He sends Jack a note and waves to him from across the bar, like there's some kind of restraining order. And then he doesn't say anything to Luke. He doesn't say anything. He just waves at Sarah. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think he didn't know anything he could say to Sarah Jane.
Yeah.
I think if he stopped to take a minute, he wouldn't proceed on. He'd just like
Hmm.
disintegrate right there. The whole thing with Jack, I don't know, honestly. Maybe he was just like very depressed seeing Jack, and he was like, you know what? Jack will forgive me. He's Jack
Yeah.
Harkness. Like, he'll live without me talking to him. Like, yeah, it's a bummer, but like, we'll see each other again. He'll see me in the future in a really long time. In gridlock. That's a face of
That was not what I was thinking. Yeah, this is for a
Oh
long
yeah.
time. This was the like the
Sorry. I forgot that Jack comes back during Jody's.
Oh, I will have so much to say about that when we get there. But yeah, for a long time, like this was it. This was goodbye
Yeah.
forever, Jack.
Yeah. Okay, something I noticed for the first time in this scene is, did you notice what song is playing?
It's he put the devil in me. Is it that one?
Yeah, that Tallulah sung
Yeah.
in Daleks in Manhattan.
Yeah, I've seen other people point that out. It's very fun. I do love hearing it
Mhm.
again. I love the salute Jack gives. That's very
Yeah.
fun, very them.
Yeah.
And then we get to the most crucial, the absolute most necessary goodbye, which is, of course, no one other than Nurse Redfern's great 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 granddaughter.
I just want to know why. Like, it doesn't even make any sense.
It's so random. And look, we really like those episodes. Besides
Yeah.
Nurse Redfern kind of being a terrible person to Martha, like, I do kind of like her character and the relationship with John Smith. Do I need to see her granddaughter? No. Also, why go see the granddaughter and not her?
Yeah, like, why not, like, pass by Nurse Redfern on her bed, like, as she's dying?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just so weird. Like that this is
Like,
part of your reward is to go get your book signed by someone you like hung out with for a few days when it wasn't even you. It was like a huge, but it's just
yeah.
fascinating to think about, like, wow, that meant so much to the doctor that he go like right before his death he goes to see her great great granddaughter. Like, I don't know. I need your thoughts on this.
No, you kind of summed up all of my thoughts. Like, it's just like very random, out of place, and very interesting that like this is someone he has held with him like this entire time, to the extent that like she's part of the farewell tour. It's like, is it that he truly really really cared about her, or he just feel so much guilt that
Yeah,
he
I don't
needs to ease
know.
his conscience and make sure that like she was okay? And like, if you found out she didn't have a happy ending, or like, have a family, like, I don't know, maybe that would have made him feel like, oh yeah, now I really needed to regenerate. I don't know, maybe it was like a punishment to him. I don't know.
It's very odd, but despite it being very odd, I do think it's a great scene. I love how
Hmm.
she realizes. Also, real quick, her name's Verity Newman, which bugs
Yeah.
me because in the episode Human Nature, John Smith literally says like his parents, Verity and Newman. So it's like her name is now after like
Oh,
fake John
interesting.
Smith's parent. I just hate that. Like, it's
Oh,
annoying.
weird. That is weird. I mean, I do know like it's a tribute to Verity Newman.
Yes. Yeah,
But you're
of
right, I
course.
didn't even think about that. That is
Yeah.
weird.
It's weird. But like I was saying, it is a good scene. I do like how he's like, was she happy in the end? And we learned that she was. And then the granddaughter asks, were you? And David Tennant, great face acting. Like his sad smile,
Mhm.
so good. That granddaughter, like, that must have just been such a crazy moment for her.
Yeah. She also looks so much like her grandmother, like
Classic.
spitting image.
Yeah.
Almost like it's the same actress.
Right? What's a side character that you think would you have rather had seen here? Who do you think is more deserving of a goodbye? I'm surprised he didn't go to like Madame de Pompadour's great 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 great. Well, she doesn't have any descendants, I guess, but I'm surprised
Wait,
he doesn't go see Madame de Pompadour
no,
at
because I
this
was actually
point.
gonna say that, even though if y'all have listened to our Girl in the Fireplace episode, you know our feelings on Madame de Pompadour in the Doctor Who universe, but I feel like that would have made more sense.
Yeah, I think like her like that episode sticks out to people and that relationship sticks out to people way more than Nurse Redfern, even though I personally prefer those episodes more than Girl in the Fireplace.
Yeah.
But yeah. Who else?
Wait, what about Jackson Lake from the next Doctor?
Yeah. I mean, might as well. I guess
I mean, never
that's
mind.
yeah. I
Never mind.
I guess they really didn't want to like travel in time. They're like, we have to stay in the 21st century for this farewell tour. Too bad Astrid is dead because Astrid would be
Yeah.
way better.
Astrid would be way better.
Wait, he should have gone to see what's his name? The guy who oh gosh, the guy in
Oh,
that
Mr.
episode.
Copper?
Yes, Mr. Copper.
Wait, no, you're actually so right.
Yeah.
He
That would
should
have
have.
made more sense.
That would have made Sally Sparrow.
Sally Sparrow. Yes, he should have
have a
gone
winner.
to see Sally Sparrow and finally thanked her for, getting him back to present day and to the
Yeah.
TARDIS.
Dang, now I really wish it was Sally Sparrow. I would have
No.
actually really enjoyed that. But we've sold enough. We are now coming to two of the moments that make me the most emotional on this farewell tour.
We see Donna's wedding and we see Neris.
I am so happy we get to see her, by the way. Like, it makes me so unbelievably happy, and that she still carried through all the way up to the 60th specials.
This is Donna's master, because why are they such good friends that she's in Donna's wedding, but also Donna is so mean to her? So they're clearly enemies. Like, Neris is not happy to be there. Like, what is this relationship?
I feel like they have to be, like, related.
Oh, you think they're like cousins or something?
Yeah, like cousins or like in-laws. Like, they can't help being in each other's lives, but they both hate each other.
You know what? That tracks. That's like the only reasonable explanation. But yeah, love Donna's wedding. Very nice to see her doing well. I love the doctor seeing Wilf and Sylvia, and when he's like Sylvia's face when he explains like who he got the money from. Very sweet.
That moment always gets me, especially when Ten says, like, I borrowed a few off of a lovely man. His name was Jeffrey Noble. That gets me every time because it's so sweet, and it's just like the smallest, sweetest tribute to, please forgive me, I cannot remember the actor's name, but the one who originally portrayed Jeff Noble before he passed away. I just love that moment. Like, it gets to me every time, and it gets to me that Tin goes to his best friend's wedding, even watching from afar, because he doesn't want to miss it.
I know. That's so sweet. The line, have that on me. He's like, that has become one of my vocal stems. One, because of this episode, and two, because of Damila and Elliot from Come Along Pod. They say that all the time. That's one of their vocal stems. And so I have like inherited that vocal stem. So that's just in my head all the time. Have that on me. Such a fun line. And yeah, I love the lottery. The way she just puts that ticket in her bra stresses me out every single time.
Me too. I'm like, that would be so uncomfortable.
Right? Also, I'm like, that's the winning ticket and you're going to lose it.
Not that it matters, because Homegirl gives away her lottery winnings.
I know. It was so, because I don't think I've watched this episode since the 60th.
Yeah, same.
It's so funny to like see how excited Wilf and Sylvia get, and it's like they get set up,
They get set up. They get a nice house.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that we have this final goodbye, at least at the time, of Donna and Tin just watching from afar.
Yeah, it's very nice. And Bernard Cribbins, his face acting so good when he just salutes the doctor and he starts crying and like his hand goes over his mouth. Oh, so good.
And you can just tell, like, Bernard Cribbins, he's like feeling all of those emotions too in real life. Like, it's not an act. Like, he's feeling all of these bittersweet emotions, and yeah.
Also, we find out the weird dad and daughter got arrested. Thank goodness. They're off the streets.
They're off the streets. They can be weird in prison.
Thank goodness. Separate them.
Please separate them. Oh, also, Luke mentions that Sarah Jane's Mr. Smith basically was like, hey, y'all, to the whole world. It was like, don't you worry. There was something weird with Wi-Fi and you all got hallucinations.
Worst explanation ever. I'm like, what?
Like, if it was up to America to tell the whole world what happened, America would be like, what are you talking about? That did not happen. And would just gaslight the entire world.
So true. We would be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
And somehow that would still be better than the weird Wi-Fi explanation.
Yeah. The Wi-Fi? Like, what?
Girl, what is this? The Bells of St. John?
Like, no, literally. And like, is that supposed to explain the giant planet in the sky too?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, very odd.
And then he goes to the first face, his face saw.
Ah! The fact that he saves, I'm not going to say the best for last, but the fact that he saves Rose for the end. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't. This is when I started crashing out watching this episode today because I can't handle it. Like this scene absolutely breaks me. Just the fact that he's in so much pain in this. Like he afterwards he can barely get back to the TARDIS, but yet he's just holding on and he just wanted to see Rose one last time. Is so heartbreaking.
The fact that he just can't help himself either from talking to her.
I know. And the fact that she's wearing the Boomtown scarf.
She's wearing the Boomtown scarf, and her and Jackie are talking. And Jackie is like, I don't know if I'm ever going to find love. And Rosa's just like, Mom, like, you gotta wait. You gotta be patient. And to think that, like, Jackie is now with Pete too. And
she
Pete's
has like
world.
a whole new child now. Like she really got like a
Yeah,
whole second act. It's so nice.
she did. And to just, oh my gosh, this always makes me crash out severely. Because Tin asks Rose, tell me, what year is it?
What year is it, my dear boy?
2005. Blimey, how much have you had? That is my vocal stem.
Yeah.
That just is constantly in my mind.
I bet you're going to have a really great
Really
year,
great
is
year.
mine. Also, the fact that he just like slightly grunts in a corner, and of course, sweet, beautiful, kind, loving Rose has to check in on a completely random, strange
Yeah.
man because that's who she is.
That's who she is, and she's always drawn to the doctor. The doctor is always drawn to her, and the fact that we get this honestly beautiful, marvelous scene, highlight of the episode, but also where I really start crashing out.
Yeah, where I really lose it. And I think about
Yeah.
this scene every New Year's, and the fact that it's
Yeah.
been 20 years since this. Obviously this episode only came out 15 years ago, but if we're thinking like in the show, it's been 20 years since this happened.
Ah.
And 20 years since he's seen her, but actually way longer because he's been alive longer than 20 years. I had this whole thing planned before the reality war, talking about, this is the last time we see Rose Tyler. Like we see Billy again, but this is the last Rose Tyler appearance. But now that might not be true anymore. So that's something.
RTD really said, psych, you all thought.
Psych. Everybody's coming back except Martha Jones.
Oh my gosh, no, literally.
Like, can we just keep talking about this scene forever? Because we
Please.
really, like, this is it. Like, until if those new episodes ever come out, this is like it. This is the last Rose Tyler moments we have for a long time.
It is. It is. And it's so sad. And I could go on forever.
Yeah, it's a beautiful the way the way he looks at her too, so full of love, so full of pride. It's so good. He's just so happy to see her one last time, and then when she's like she goes inside, she's running up the stairs and his face like just drops when she's out of frame, and like all that sadness comes back, and it's just it's
Because
so
he knows
crazy.
that version of her is going to see him and experience the Ninth Doctor and the 10th Doctor and all their adventures, but Tin is never going to see her again.
Oh, it's so sad. Again, and I can't get over the fact that he deliberately chose like to save her to the end. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy work right there. That's crazy work. And then like he goes back to the TARDIS. He can barely get there. Like the man is about to regenerate on the street, and then the Ood come to sing him to sleep. And I love the line, this song is ending now, but the story never ends. So good.
So good. And I honestly truly unintentional line that kind of like perfectly leads into series 5.
Mhm.
Like just saying the
Yeah.
story never ends, and like storytelling is such a big part of Eleven's era. It's so good. What are your thoughts and feelings on 10's final words?
It's complicated. It's complicated. I
Mm,
think it's very fitting. Like emotionally it
yeah,
tracks. Like this doctor more than anyone else before or since is having the hardest time saying goodbye. But the fact that his final words are I don't want to go, it's so sad. Like I don't know. And again, I'm beating a dead horse, but the fact that he was born so full of light, so full of hope, so young, born out of love, born because he was saving the woman he loves. And now he's dying alone and saying he doesn't want to go. It's so utterly heartbreaking. And to see, like, for so many people, David Tennant is such like an important doctor, and for many, like, their first doctor. So it's very sad to see him go out this way. However, I think now that we have the 60th, and say whatever you want about the 60th and the David Tennant returning and the 14th Doctor, I think it's kind of beautiful in a way because now, like, that doctor got to come back and he got to have more moments with the people he loved, and he got to have a better ending, and he got more time, more more peaceful time, not just like suffering and losing people. He got his like therapy years, and I just think it's really beautiful. But what a bummer way to go out, man. Like, they
yeah.
what a crazy last line. It's crazy to me that they chose this as his final moment.
I completely agree, but I do love that this is his last line. And I feel like it really ties into when you look at Doctor Who at this point in time, back in 2010, like 2009, 2010, like David Tennant was Doctor Who. Like it was very big. So I think that definitely went into that line. And I think it was very fitting for where the 10th Doctor ended up. But every time I watch this scene, it just gets me because it's so sad and it's such a bummer. And to just say goodbye to David Tennant, it hurts. It hurts every time I
Yeah,
watch this, even though I love, spoiler alert, even though I love Matt Smith. Which Matt Smith is such a baby in this episode. Like I was like,
such
oh
a
my gosh,
baby.
he's so young.
I love this post regeneration scene. I think it's one of my
Mm-hmm.
favorites. It's so
Same.
chaotic, like just Matt Smith figuring everything out. Meanwhile, like the TARDIS is crashing, like still got legs, still not ginger. It's such a funny scene. And it's always such an uplift after such a sad episode, such a bummer ending for the 10th Doctor. Like getting Matt Smith in, it just brings like it's just a weight off your shoulders. It brings new life into the episode, and I am so excited to talk about Matt Smith.
Me too.
Okay, so we did put out a little thing on our Instagram and TikTok just saying we were getting ready to record, so share any thoughts and we'll read them on the episode. By the way, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Timey Wimey Pod, and maybe we'll ask for thoughts again and you can share them and we'll read them on the pod. So on Instagram, Ozzy under dash Carrie, she said this episode is brilliant and she'll never not cry. And yeah, real.
Very real.
Yeah. No,
Same.
it's really painful in a way that, I mean, regeneration episodes are always really painful, but this something about this one, man, like I don't know. It's just like a punch in the gut. Like that I don't want to go, man. It takes you out.
I completely agree.
Yeah. And then on TikTok, slightly unrelated to the episode, but that's okay. Voice of Many said, I wonder if we'll see more of the Meta Crisis Doctor or if he'll relate to Billy regenerating into the new Doctor. And I do wonder that as well. See, I'm conflicted because on one hand, David Tennant just came back. So I would understand if he didn't want to come back or was like, no, it's way too soon. No one wants me to come back. But also, like us we're always going to want more David and Billy. So I'm always going to want more David and Billy. That's all I'll say. And I think I could see him coming back as 10-2.
Same. I could see it.
Yeah. So thank you to both of you for leaving comments. And yeah, again, follow us on
Yeah.
Instagram and TikTok, and maybe we'll do this again. Haley, who's the star of the show?
Okay, I feel like we need some ground rules, or I'm going to choose Martha, Rose, Donna, Wilf.
Mine is very random.
Go for it. Oh, obviously 10, but like go for it. Tell me your star of the show.
Mine is the Boomtown scarf. Like, so iconic, they
No,
brought
I
her back to
support it.
life. Like, such an iconic scarf. Like, one day I swear I'm gonna like knit or crochet something similar because it's so
Oh
good.
my gosh, that's the best idea ever.
Thank you, thank you. I just, they just had to call back to such an iconic episode
Mm-hmm.
as Boomtown. Also, like for a character like Rose, it's so fitting because she is the kind of character, and we know this, we've seen this, who like she's an outfit repeater, and I say that with love as a chronic outfit repeater.
Mm-hmm.
Like my
Same.
job has memorized my wardrobe. It's kind of embarrassing. Um so I love it. So my star of the show is the Boomtown scarf.
And you were correct.
Do you have a star of the show besides the Boomtown scarf?
Like I told you, Martha, Donna, Rose, Wilf, they're my faves, okay? I can't.
Yeah.
But special shout out to Sean for being a real one, for
Mm.
sticking through all the craziness, for embracing it, and for, treating Donna like she deserves, which is like a queen.
Never settle for a lance because your Sean is
Mm-hmm.
out there.
That is better than anything anyone could ever say. Remember that, y'all. Remember that.
Remember that. Have that on me. Do we have any reviews of End of Time from the past?
Yes. So I have 2 reviews. One is from IMDb, and the other one is from Reddit. That was written
Oh.
15 years ago.
Whoa, vintage.
So this first review is the one from IMDb. It was written on January 4th, 2010 by the user Nico_cat. And they wrote saying that End of Time was a fabulous ending to the 10th Doctor. I thought it was well done. There were aspects I didn't like, but there were far more I did like. What I will say is it could have been longer. I feel it was wrapped up too quickly and the story seemed rushed. Davies put too much story in a condensed amount of time, so it all happened at once. And then further on in the review, they do say that all in all, they will be watching it again, though 500 or 600 more times. Bernard Cribbins did very well. I always saw him as a Donna backup, but seeing him as a Doctor sidekick was surprising. I miss Donna, and to finally hear the Doctor say she is his best friend is a closure. Watch it, enjoy it, don't nitpick it, have fun with it. Time to see what Matt Smith can do with the role.
Yeah, that review brings up some good points that we've touched on, but
Yeah.
we talked a lot about what we like. But to be clear, End of Time is a hot mess.
It is a hot mess, and I don't think time was the issue.
I agree. Like, this is a long episode.
It's a long episode combined with part 1. It's even longer. I think it would have honestly been better if it was condensed. Or if they took out the daddy-daughter immortality gate thing.
Honestly, take out the Time Lords. Do we need them?
Yeah.
Like, just do something with the Master, not him becoming ever. I don't know. Just this is a hot mess story, and it's really saved by Wilf. Like, it's saved by Wilf in the last 30 minutes of End of Time Part 2. But yeah, the story is a mess, and it feels like a fever dream, and it's why no one can. I say no one, but I mean us. It's why we can't remember what the heck is going on.
Yeah. And it's not because of like trauma. Like we mentioned Doomsday. We always forget what happens in that 2-parter because of trauma. That is not the case with End of Time. It's because End of Time is just a hot mess.
Yeah, this is not a case of doomsday amnesia. This is just too many cooks in the kitchen, too many things happening. It gets so confusing.
Agreed. All right. This last review I have is the one from Reddit. It was written 15 years ago on the Doctor Who
Wow.
subreddit by the user CJ Schmidt, and they said, quote, I thought it was great. A very good representation of the RTD era, good and bad, and a really great performance from David Tennant. It wasn't perfect, but it was a crazy ride that ended with a nice balance of closure, fan service, and sadness, with a nice introduction to 11. Not perfect, but fitting.
Yeah, I'll say it's
Fair
classic
enough.
Russell. It's so
It is.
Russell.
It is. And the thing with Russell is he is talented. Like he brought Doctor Who back. He is the
Yeah.
reason the show is back and we've had all that we have. He has made incredible episodes, but he's made other episodes that weren't great.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is, but the man cannot write a finale. he just he somehow
No.
lost it. Forgot how to do it after Doomsday because
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but it has some of like his best qualities in this, like the interactions between characters and the goodbyes to everyone, and it has some of his worst aspects with the Time Lords and the master of it all. But you gotta take what you can. I don't know. It's Russell, guys. I don't know.
And before we end this podcast episode, we do just want to take a moment and rank the series 4 specials.
Yes, we'll do this quickly because
We will.
we're about to hit 2 hours on the raw recording.
The raw recording. Yeah.
Yes.
I usually cut quite a bit out. Because we ramble a lot.
Yes, and get distracted by like spiders in my room and
Or crickets
uh,
outside your window.
helicopters outside my window.
My dog.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm gonna share my special ranking first. We are ranking End of Time Part 1 and Part 2 together. So my ranking from worst to best, Planet of the Dead in last, shock to no one if you listened to our
Mhm.
Planet of the Dead episode. Then the next Doctor, then End of Time, then Waters of Mars, because let's be real, Waters of Mars is just the best thing to come out of these specials. Like, there's great moments in End of Time, but as a whole, Waters of Mars slaps, slays the house boots down. Like, it's that girl.
Completely agreed. And I thought you would judge me, but I have the exact same ranking as you. Planet of the Dead, Next Doctor, End of Time, Waters of Mars. Waters of Mars, iconic, legendary. Will always go back and rewatch that anytime I want a good sci fi horror moment. So good. End of Time, I can't fully write it off. I mentioned this last
No,
week. I can't fully write it off, okay? Because even though it's a hot mess, it's my hot mess.
exactly. If you want to see us rank more episodes, you're in
Yeah.
luck because next Wednesday, October 29th, we will be posting our first YouTube video at A Time and Wimey Pod on YouTube, where we will be tier ranking all the RTD1 episodes. It's going to be fun. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
have to agree. So maybe we will disagree, but let's be real. That's probably not likely.
We'll agree on the major ones. It's going to be the minor ones. I think there's going to be
Yeah.
some surprises.
Well, we'll have a classic Father's Day versus Rose showdown.
We
um,
will. But thank you guys so much for tagging along with us throughout RTD1 throughout this episode, which is, I
mhm.
believe, going to be our longest episode yet.
Yeah.
We really appreciate all of you guys who listen to us yap about this show.
Yes. Yes, we really do. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And just, yeah, to clarify the schedule again, no podcast on the 29th, but we will be posting a YouTube video with our tier ranking. Go check it out. Then November 5th, we're taking a little bit of a break because it's my birthday.
Hey.
And we'll actually be like traveling and like together,
Yeah.
and it's going to be really fun. But then we will be back on November 12th with the 11th hour, and we are so excited to jump into this era. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, it's going to be such a blast. And before we officially end this, Rebecca, I have one last question to pose you and ask all of you listening.
Oh.
What was harder as a viewer? Watching and accepting 9 regenerating into 10 or 10 regenerating into 11?
9.
I agree.
Because what first time watching 9, I didn't know what was happening. I wasn't prepared, and it was just so I felt like a loved one was being killed in front of me. Like, I will never get over losing the ninth doctor. Like, that scarred me for life.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. But let
Yeah.
us know what you
Yeah.
feel.
How did you guys feel? What regeneration hit you the hardest,
Yeah,
honestly? Yeah.
great question.
Okay. I'm like, so we've been talking so long. I feel like I'm about to lose my mind. So thank you guys again so much for listening. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Timey Wimey Pod. Please leave us a review. It would really help us out. 5 stars. We would love it. It would be so slay, so nice, so cool, so iconic.
Yeah. And email us anything and everything to timeywimeypod@gmail.com.
And we will see you on YouTube, Timey Wimey Pod,
Yeah.
next week for our tier ranking. And then November 12th for the 11th hour. But until then, bye guys.
Talk to you guys later.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.